Don't just stand there with the refrigerator door open. But I don't know what I want. That's a dialogue that takes place sometimes between parents and children, or between husbands and wives. Other times the dialogue is just with ourselves. What do I want to eat tonight? I'm hungry, but I just don't know what I want. I have a friend who finds it difficult to select something from a restaurant menu. I'll often ask, "What are you going to get?" And he'll respond something like, "I think I'll get the chicken." But I know from experience, 9 times out of 10, when the waiter comes over, he'll order something other than the chicken. I think there's something to be learned from the experience of being hungry and not knowing what we really want. Today and for the next 5 weeks, we will listen to a section of John's Gospel known as the Bread of Life Discourse. We'll be invited to reflect on the hunger that we have that can only be satisfied with consuming the bread of life, Christ himself. Today we heard about the multiplication of the loaves and fishes, and that was reflective of the Book of Kings reading that we heard from another multiplication of loaves. Commentators agree that these readings are almost like precursors of the Eucharist itself, which we believe is the extended presence of the resurrected Christ. Perhaps as we begin this annual reflection on the centrality of the Eucharist, we can just step back and take a snapshot of ourselves. Let it capture who we are at this moment in our life. Not in a physical sense, but who it is that we have become spiritually. See, in the Eucharist, we are about to receive a sign of the hunger that is within us that can only be filled when we empty ourselves of selfishness or self-centeredness. I don't know about your family customs, but when I was growing up, there were some special foods that would appear only at Christmas and maybe Thanksgiving. I don't know why, but my mother would serve turnip on Thanksgiving. We never had turnip any other day, and I think it traced back to an uncle who liked turnip, and even after he died, the turnip remained. Or there was a special oyster dressing that was made by my grandfather, who died well before I was born. And then one of my aunts, who never cooked anything, would make the oyster dressing every Thanksgiving. Now that they're all dead, we still have the oyster dressing. But it wouldn't seem right to have it at other times. But the Eucharist that we have is available every single day. And it can remain special if we just recall the awesome gift that we have been given. So for the next 5 weeks, we're invited to focus on the bread of life. We are invited to become what we receive, the very presence of the resurrected body of Christ.